A big thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video.
Thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me. Wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today, we're going to be tackling some home organization. My kitchen in particular, there are a couple of drawers that I want to focus on that I've kind of been putting on the back burner. A lot of you have been asking for more organizing videos, so you ask, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and deliver. It lets me get my things done, and I really need to do the spice rack. My utensil drawer, we really have to revamp underneath the sink because it's gotten a little crazy around there. So I'm gonna do some organizing, decluttering, and the cherry on top, my favorite part of all, you guys already know, labeling. I'm going to be showing you how to create vinyl labels at home. Super simple and easy, and it literally changes the entire look, I feel like, when you're organizing, and really feels like you're totally accomplished and the space looks complete. And it just ensures that you yourself, as well as everyone else in your house, knows the system that you have, and it's just easier to follow and keep things a little more organized for longer. So be sure to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed watching. Consider hitting that little subscribe button so you don't miss on my future home and lifestyle videos, and let's get right into this one. I wanted to start it with a before of each space. First, the spice rack. I was so excited to get doing this space because it's been over a year, like I mentioned, and when I implemented this in the whole kitchen design, I knew I had a vision for it, so it was time to get started on that project today. And then also reorganizing the utensil drawer wasn't too crazy, but I had to get rid of some old things, and also I'm changing out little by little all of my drawers to bamboo organizers. And finally, underneath the kitchen sink, it was time for a refresh and just get everything back in order, because it was a little messy for me.
Cause I got the system of favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first.
So I bought these bamboo lid jars on Amazon. I love that they have the actual seal on the inside, so they're going to keep all of my spices nice and fresh. I went with two different sizes because on the top shelf you'll see that we use things more on a daily basis consistently, so I wanted things that were a little larger, and then the smaller ones for the lower shelves. So the first thing when I'm organizing anything is you want to declutter, so empty everything on out, whatever space you're going to be organizing. Then you're going to be giving it a good wipe down, and then of course categorizing what you use and what you don't, so a toss pile and a keep pile.
And the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us.
Mike also helped me in adjusting the shelves. We wanted to have things that fit the jars that we're looking for, all of the spices that we actually use. So we removed one of the actual shelves and moved down the second one a little bit lower to fit. We measured it out, it fit perfectly. And then today I'm only going to be organizing the spices, but that lower half, you guys can see I kept it taller, and that's simply because I want to put bottles of like my oils and all of that stuff, like my marsala sauce, but we'll be saving that for another day because I am waiting for those bottles to come in the mail. So give everything a really good wipe down, and then it'll be time to separate, like I mentioned, different piles. So I'll have a pile of what's going to go on the top shelf, the middle shelf, and then a throw in the garbage.
The cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby. I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right here we got so much time, looping in the blurry lights. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got the system of favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things.
Once I separated my sections, I then went ahead and took the whole toss pile, removed the lids, and I went ahead and threw out the spices that were in there in the garbage. Some of these items, you guys, we've had from before we got married, so it was definitely time to get rid of them, and we just really never used a lot of the options that they had. It came like in a pack for like $25, and then I'm going to be recycling these jars.
You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top.
Now taking you along for my favorite part of all, I'm going to show you how to do labels at home, and I would like to introduce you to my newest best friend, the Cricut Joy. But seriously, you guys, I'm going to be taking this thing with me to all of my friends and family houses and doing all of the DIY projects because I just love it so much. And here I'm just doing my own custom labels on the Cricut design space. So you're going to go ahead, import your project, customize it any way that you're doing depending what you're going for. Make sure you measure everything. Then you're going to select the vinyl that you're using. Today I'm going to be using the Cricut Smart Vinyl. Total game changer. You no longer need a mat to create your designs. You just insert it right in and it's going to read it, hit OK, and it starts making and cutting out all of your vinyl lettering or projects that you're going to be doing. I also love that the Cricut Joy now is compatible with an app that you can download right to your phone, and you're able to do everything straight from there. As you see, I'm doing labels, so I'm going to select one of these. You can add in as many of the labels and wording that you need to add. Hit next, done. Once again, select the vinyl that you're going to be using, and it automatically reads it and gives you easy to step follow instructions. Lastly, unload your vinyl and then you can see the beautiful lettering that it created. You'll go ahead, weed that out, and then it is time to use some transfer tape. So I'm going to be using that to apply my label onto my surface. Push down and remove it. This basically takes labeling to a whole nother level, you guys. You can see how simple and easy it was to do. And I am now going to go around my entire house and just do this to literally everything because it changed the whole look of it. And it makes it just so easy to read and use all of our products in a new, although it's aesthetically pleasing, also very functional way. And as you can see here, I'm just continuing to decant all of my spices from their packaging that they come in. You guys can see it's very mishmash, not very unison. And a lot of the labels were actually on the side, so it made it hard to read because when we pull out this drawer, we look at everything from the top for that first rack. So I labeled everything on the top of those jars. And then for the lower racks, we actually see the actual container from the side portion. So I decided to use these labels and place them on the side for the thinner, taller jars. So that worked perfectly. Anything that I happened to have, like let's say excess of, it was a larger drawer, then I put in my little back stock pile that I have right beside my pantry beside this spice drawer, and it's easy access anytime I need a refill. Then it was time to go ahead and fill up the second rack. You guys can see here, I definitely have space to actually fit another row behind on this same shelf. So I will be ordering more in case things that we use, like larger kinds, like the garlic powder, we still had some left over. I can go ahead and just have doubles of those. This way I don't have to keep reaching back into my back stock pile. I felt that would be easy, especially because we have the space. Now we're moving on to our next project, and that is actually the utensil drawer. I wanted to change everything out. As you saw, I did like the bamboo lids on the spice jars, and for the drawers, I want to do these bamboo organizers. They are so pretty, and I feel like it gives a really custom look to our cabinetry. When we were in the market for custom cabinetry, it was hundreds and hundreds of dollars. These are around, I want to say like $24.99. They're expandable and adjustable, so I felt like it's still kind of expensive, but nothing compared to customized. So little by little, I'm just doing different areas in my home, in my kitchen in particular, where I'm adding to the collection. And I thought it would be really nice to add these vinyl labels that just say spoons, large spoons, forks, and knives. And I thought it really looked great this way when putting everything away. Sometimes when my mom is over, she likes to help me like unload my dishwasher, but she doesn't know where certain things go. So I feel like labeling always does a great job at organizing your home for yourself as well as others. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things Now for the final space of today's video is going to be underneath the sink. If you guys look back on a video, I want to say probably like a year ago now, I showed you how I organize this whole area, but it gets really messy really quickly because we're in this space so much. And I honestly have been wanting to change out the labels for a while. I told you guys that in that video a year ago that I wanted to do that just because I wanted things that were a lot larger and easier to read.
I'm just wondering where you at. Just thought I'd call and wish you good night. I left my key under the mat. I don't get anything done, you're stuck on my mind. I keep on missing you.
So as you saw, I went ahead and I emptied everything out from under the sink, did some decluttering, got rid of products that we no longer really use or were kind of finishing up, and then I gave it a good wipe down. There was some soap residue on the bottom that I had to clear off, and then I'm putting everything back farthest from things that I use least, and then closest to the doors, closest to me, are items that I use on a more daily basis. This little container, I believe I got it like at the dollar store, and I just labeled it clean every day, and these are things like my glass cleaner, granite cleaner, stainless steel that I need to reach for easy access on a daily basis, and then of course my dishwash tabs.
Give me all you got.
Then these acrylic pull-out drawers are actually made for shoes from the Container Store, but they have worked out absolutely great for under the sink because they pull out easy. I can stack them, and I keep my microfiber cloths in one, and then any of my sponges that I need to replenish for the sink right there at the top. And then I like to fold any drying towels on there as well as my drying mat. But this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will talk to you all in my next one. Definitely consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my future videos. Bye guys.